Okay, so in the last video we made composite parts. This time we are going to make drawings, or essentially like a blueprint that you would use in the shop to recreate your project or give to someone else to build it. So the first thing we're going to do is go down here to the plus on the bottom left and do, which is a create new element, and we are going to create a drawing. It's going to come up with options for templates. Most likely, if you have not done this before, you're going to only have one, the ANSI A, which is the default template for OnShape. I have another one in there that I had to use for a specific project, but you'll select the template you want and click OK. The ANSI A size template is the perfect template for computer paper size-wise. Okay, it's going to automatically pop up with an insert view. And so you have your parts, you have part studios, you have composite parts. You can select sketches and flat patterns. So we're going to go and turn off the parts and turn on the composite parts. So I want an overview for my first page of the overall project. So I'm going to select composite part 5, which is the entire grill. And I'm going to come over here and select isometric view. And an isometric view, that's kind of looking at it from an angle. And I want to change the zoom as well. I'm going to make this maybe 1:16 is I think what I'm going to make all of my view scales. And so that gets to me a pretty nice size right there for this drawing. So I'm going to click and I'm just going to drop that right there. And yeah, you know what? I like that where that's at. Now I'm going to go and do insert view again because I want to put some other views of it. So I come up, insert views, this little icon up here. I'm going to select insert. It pops up with the selection menu. I'm going to do composite parts again. You don't have to turn the parts off. It just cleans it up a little bit. I'm going to select composite part 5 again. And I'm going to give us a front view. And I'm going to space them out a little bit so that we have room to throw some dimensions on there, even though we're going to have some zoomed in views. Now, if you notice, it automatically wants to drop another view on there. Sometimes I like to do this, sometimes I don't. If you don't want to have it automatically put another view on there, you can just hit the escape key and it'll get you out, and then you come back to the the insert tool. But since I want a side profile view anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let it use the side profile view that it recommends. Now I'm going to come back up to an insert view again. I'm going to go insert and once again my composite parts. And now I'm going to start putting my sub-assemblies in there. So composite part 1, which is our crank, I'm going to go take that and put a front view of it. See, it's already selected as a front view, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to drop that in right there. Come back up to my view again, find the composite parts. I think I'm going to do the bow, which is the part that and once again, I'm going to do a front view, and I'm going to drop that right here under my front view of the other. See, now it wants to, I don't want another view of the bow, so I'm just going to hit escape. Actually, you know what? I do want a side view of the bow because we need to see where to drill those holes. So we're going to go back up, insert view again. I'm going to composite part 4, but I'm going to select a right view. Doesn't matter if it's right or left for what we're doing, and I'm going to put that fairly close to the bow there. And let's see, what else am I going to insert? I'm going to take the grill, and I want a top view of the grill, I think is our best bet. And so let's go top, and I will put that Now, I'm probably going to put it right here. Just click to drop it. I don't need any other views of the grill, so I'm going to hit escape. And then we're going to come back here again. I'm going to go insert, composites, and I'm going to do composite part 2, which is the base. And I think I want a top view of that. And I'm also going to put it, I'll probably make it a side view. Okay, so I've got pretty much everything I need on here, with the exception of the tub of the grill. So to do that, I'm going to come up here to the here it is, to the sheets, and I'm going to add a sheet, which you come up here to the top. So this little icon here on the side opens up. It's essentially, it's showing all the, so we have one sheet and it's showing all the parts that are on there and the views of those parts. So now we're going to come up here, we're going to insert another sheet, and you could name these if you want to. You just right click on them and rename them. So I could call this one Q tub. I usually call it a tub for lack of another better word for it. Barbecue tub is what I'll call that sheet. And I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to get rid of that. So it's just, I don't know, extra clutter. I don't like it. So I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to turn off those views. And I believe that we're going to go flat patterns. Okay, so the flat patterns of this, we're going to go and have, we'll select this one first. And I'm going to select, see what 1 and 12 would look like. Yeah, I'm going to do 1 and 12 since all we're putting on here is the sheet metal. So we're going to go with that. And so this tells us what all of our bends are going to be for that sheet metal, which is really nice. And then I'm going to go back up here again, and we're going to insert our flat patterns, and we're going to put one of the sides on here. And we don't want the top. We want, I think it would be the left. No. Front. How did we draw it? I don't remember. Nope. Oh, it would be a top view because they're saying it's not in relation to how it is on the grill itself. It is what it would look like as you cut it out of a sheet. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that on there as well, which it's kind of funky. It shows up upside down, but that's okay. And then I want to see if, I don't know if we need to make a composite part to do this or not, or if it'll show up. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to take an isometric view of that piece folded. And so I want to make this isometric. So, and I'm going to put it right under the piece that we're going to fold. So that gives you an idea of what this is going to look like. Okay, so now we're going to have to start plugging in dimensions. And since I'm on this second sheet already, we're just going to start here. So you come up and you select your dimension tool, which looks the same as it does in the regular OnShape. So we're just going to go and start clicking, dragging, and dropping our dimensions in there, which is done the exact same way as it's done in OnShape when you're drawing up a project. Okay, so that's all the dimensions I need for that. I'm going to go and show it like that. 24 inches. Zoom in a little bit. I'll just set it in like that. And once again, now I'm just putting in all the dimensions that I think that someone would need to, whoops, I don't like where I put that. So I'm going to, it won't let me do it, won't let me move it. Hit delete, no, all right. There it goes. Let me drag it, and I'm going to put it probably like that so we can see. And then I'm also going to put an overall from end to end dimension. So I got out of the dimension tool. I need to get back in the dimension tool there. And so I'm going to select the outside piece there, outside piece there, and I don't like, yeah, there. I'm going to do it like that. Because I wanted to avoid having this arrow go through the numbers there. It just, to me, clutters things up. Okay. And I'm not going to put any dimensions on the isometric view. The sides are both the same, so I only need to draw one side. So I've got all the dimensions I need on this sheet. So now let's go back and look at the other sheet. So I'm going to go back to sheet 1. And so now I'm in sheet 1, and I can start throwing dimensions on this. And so once again, I'm going to get dimensions, and it should be obvious that we're talking a 45-degree angle here, but I'm just going to go and draw it. You know what? Let me get out of that. I'm going to do a zoom in of that area, detailed view. So I select detailed view. I drag a circle around the area I want to detail. I didn't like where I stuck that there. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now I've got a detailed view of that. I can go and stick it right above like that. And then I can go and hit dimension tool again, and I can do that, and it shows that it's a 45-degree angle, which should be obvious given that I've got a square with 4 angles, but I'm kind of just demonstrating, how to do various things in here. So I'm back on the dimensions again, and we're going to go and I'm going to put how far apart we are from here to here, which is 24.25. And we're going to do the same thing from here to here. Whoops. I'm not sure what I got. Oh, okay. I'm going to escape. I ended up selecting the wrong thing. Anytime you hit escape, you need to go back into the tool that you were in before. And so we're going to do that. There we go. 18 and a, keep clicking on the wrong. It keeps switching my selection. Let's zoom in a little closer that way. Okay. There. You know what? There we go. Did what I wanted. Let's see. We needed the height of these legs, which is 37 3/4. We're going to need height of this, 23 3/4, 24. We're going to need distance from here to here, and distance from here to here. Okay. Other ones we need our distance from here to here. We need our distance from, from outside to outside, and our distance from outside to outside. I'm going to stick that on this side here. Let's see, what other dimensions do we need? I think the last dimension that I see off the top of my head that we need is where to put the hole on the bow for the crank to go through, and what size that'll be. So we're going to do two things here. I'm going to take and let's zoom out a little bit. We're going to go and, you know what? I take that back. We're going to do a detailed view again, same as we did on the other. And so I'm going to drag that like so, click, and I'll put my detailed view right up here. And I am going to then go back to my dimension tool, and I can show these dimensions more clearly with the detailed view. Okay, so I go like that, and now I've got all of the dimensions, I think, that I need for to build this barbecue, really. Anything else I can figure out by looking at this, as long as I have a list of what type of materials I'm using. So, for example, we would generate a cut list or a bill of materials that would tell, for example, what size angle iron we're using, and what size channel iron we're using, what size rod we're using for the crank, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now that we've completed our drawing, we're going to come down here if we want to print it out, export it. Well, actually, before that, you can go in here and you can put titles. So I could come in here and call this it's a Santa Maria grill, so I'll just put SM grill green check, and so now it's in there. It automatically will have your name in there and your and the date that you made the drawing. And now we're going to go and we're going to go to print it off. And so right click, export, and you can name it SM Grill Draft 1. And you can select different formats. For printing it off, PDF I find to be the best, and normal black and white, so forth. You can download. I'm just going to download it, and so I click export, and now this is preparing it for export. It takes a second for it to the computer to compute it and all. And in a moment, it should show up as a download. See, it shows up as a download at the bottom of my bottom of my browser. And so now that is in my computer's downloads folder, and I can print it out, email it to someone, or do whatever I want with that document. And then if I want to edit it, I can always come back into OnShape, make my changes, and then generate another export. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care.